Joe here with JoeMartinMVC, and today we're going to talk about something a lot of people know about, but don't know what it's called, and that's tire blooming. Tire blooming is the lovely thing that occurs and turns your tires from that beautiful rich black color to a dirty looking ugly brown. This brown discoloration is not caused by brake dust, infrequent cleaning, or typically dirt, though sometimes it can. Obviously, if you've been driving through dirt, that's going to get picked up and stay in the tire some, but that just washes off. That's not what we're talking about. Tire blooming is the reaction that occurs when the antioxidant in the tire oxidizes with the air. And what does that mean exactly? The antioxidant is an organic compound that is added to the rubber and plastic materials to prevent oxidation, fading, cracking, and degradation. Well, premature degradation, that is. As you drive and the tire flexes and the tires are exposed to UV radiation from the sun, the antioxidant is constantly drawn to the surface to protect the material from oxidation due to constant exposure to the harsh outside world. A good way to think of it is like applying a protective coating or sunscreen to yourself when you're out for the day. If you skip the sunscreen, you're guaranteed to get a nasty sunburn after just a few hours, which causes your skin to dry out and usually peel or flake off. The same thing happens with your tires. The antioxidant that comes to the surface protects your tires in a similar fashion. As this antioxidant oxidizes itself, it is what turns brown. You'll typically notice that longer life tires will bloom more often than others, and this is because they are made with more antioxidants to increase the longevity of the tire. Let's go over a couple of myths about tire blooming and tire dressings. Myth number 1. Tire blooming damages tires. Fact. This is the exact opposite. The antioxidant that comes to the surface actually protects the tire from harmful radiation and exposure. Myth number 2. Silicone tire dressings cause excess tire blooming. Fact. Silicone will not damage the tires. They actually provide a good layer of protection to your wheels, but can tend to pick up excess dirt due to their secure nature and should be washed or scrubbed off in between washes. Myth number 3. Tire dressings cause cracking. Fact. Cracking typically isn't caused by chemicals applied to the tire. It's usually due to the oxidation and UV exposure, which causes gradual wearing out of the antioxidant layers that are built into the tire. Prolonged use of harsh acids or degreasers are more likely to contribute to premature cracking than a dressing will. Myth number 4. Petroleum distillates will destroy your tire. Fact. Prolonged exposure to petroleum distillates, which is an obscenely vague term for manufacturers, can cause tire issues, relating to the tire drying out and therefore cracking sooner. But when I say prolonged, I mean letting a tire soak in these types of products for hours, which would allow the product to fully penetrate into the rubber. If you're using an aerosol or cleaner that has petroleum distillates listed, and you're spraying or applying it on, scrubbing your tire and washing it off, this will not cause any harm. Almost every aerosol you use will have these, as it's typically used as the propellant for the aerosol to make the product even come out. The harmful part of petroleum distillates would be dimethyl silicone, which you would only know by looking up the MSDS or Material Safety Data Sheet for the product. Why is dimethyl silicone bad? Dimethyl silicone is migratory, meaning it pulls the plasticizers from the plastic or vinyl. Plasticizers are what give elasticity and color to these materials. By removing these plasticizers, it can cause the tire to degrade slightly faster and cause premature cracking in the sidewalls. This is not to be confused with polydimethylsiloxane or PDMS, which is water-based and dries to a non-oily, hard surface and does not migrate the plasticizers from the material. PDMS is good, whereas dimethyl silicone is bad, and they're labeled both as petroleum distillates. So that's fun. This is where the MSDS would tell you which is being used and which is safer in the long term for your tires. So with that long-winded explanation of the tire blooming and tire dressings, how do you get rid of tire blooming? Fortunately, that's extremely simple. You can just use water and a stiff bristle brush or a tire brush to remove light tire blooming. If you have severe tire blooming, you'd want to use a tire and rubber cleaner or a degreasing agent, such as even Dawn dish soap, and scrub. Yes, it really is that simple. Once you're done scrubbing, rinse off the excess detergent and use your dressing of choice to dress your tire. Just keep in mind that you're cleaning it, not removing it completely. This is because the antioxidant continues to work its way out towards the outside of the tire as the tire ages. Thank you for joining me for this short and educational video on tire blooming. As always, if you like the content I put out, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you stay up to date with new content as it comes out. Thanks for watching. Take care.